Greetings folks, and I hope you're all happy and healthy wherever you are in collecting land as the silly season descends upon us. And welcome back to the channel for another 1/6 scale figure preview. In the past few hours, Damn Toys have dropped another Platoon figure on us. Recently they dropped the Staff Sergeant Barnes, aka Tom Berenger, and that was featured in an episode of Go Figure 1/6 Scale News, if you wanted to check that out. But no, in the past few hours they followed that up with the Chris Taylor figure, aka Charlie Sheen. As always with these previews, I will be popping up pictures in the top left-hand corner so you can do your own comparisons. But before we dive in, I'd like to send a huge seasonal size shout out to everybody who's supported the channel. And please drop a like and hype on this video as it helps other people find Go Figure. And if you haven't already, be sure to mash that subscribe button and bell notification icon. So you're sure not to miss any of the 1/6 scale reviews, news, previews, showcases, tours, retro reviews, and all that other good stuff that we've got coming up. So let's dive in and have a look at Damn Toys' take on Chris Taylor. Let's take a look at the first shot. And straight away, I'm very impressed, as I was with the Barnes figure that they gave us recently. Nice photography here. The proportions look on point. That uniform looks absolutely excellent, as it does with the Barnes figure there. It looks like we've got seamless arms going on. I'm going to lean in here. Yeah, it looks like we've got the same sort of seamless arms thing going on that we have with the Staff Sergeant Barnes. Vascularity is great. Muscularity in those seamless arms looks fantastic. Paint applications look phenomenal. The rifle, the M16, looks absolutely on point as well as with the other figure, as does the detailing in this in these fatigues. Really nice. You've got all manner of strapping going on. You've got this sort of scarf situation going on. The screen accuracy looks there. The covering looks right. You've got all manner of stuff going on. I think it looks like grenades in the pouches in the belt there. The M16 itself looks really well sculpted and painted. You've got silver dry brushing on there. This, what I'm going to assume is a green nylon strap across the gun itself. The helmet looks like it's material coated as well. I'm going to assume it's plastic under there and then material coated to give it that authentic look. And we're getting the first look at the head sculpt as well. First impressions on the head sculpt. Now, it most certainly is Charlie Sheen. It's most certainly the character from Platoon. The skin tones and textures look great. My first impression was there's something a touch off here. Now, Hot Toys gave us a version of this, I think it was back in 2010, and I think they did a Barnes and a Taylor figure, and then pretty much stopped where they were there. But I do remember the head sculpt's being really good. Never had either of those figures in hand, so I've got nothing to compare it to. But as I say, I will put pictures in the top left-hand corner here so you can do your own comparisons. Something just a little off. I think it might be the eyes, but let's move on. Maybe it's the camera angle. We've got the shot there of him holding the M16 at shoulder height there. If it is an M16, I think I'm pretty certain it's an M16, or was it an M14? If I'm wrong, correct me in the comment section below. I'll just refer to it from now on as the rifle. But yeah, helmet looks absolutely on point. Once again, we're getting close to this head sculpt. Skin tones and textures look really good. Those eyebrows, the sort of unique eyebrows that Charlie Sheen has. Very angular eyebrows. Caught that really well, but they're just, once again, there's something a little bit off there. It's very good, don't get me wrong. I think it's an excellent head sculpt, but I think we need to see it closer up. Let's move on to the next shot, the all shot, the long shot here. We've got him stepping forward with the rifle pointing down, and we can see the full extent of that uniform, and it looks really good to me. Proportions, as I mentioned before, look on point. They captured the colors just right, those rolled up sleeves. All the bits and pieces. I'm going to lean in again here from what looks like a grenade launcher or mortar on his back there. I could be wrong with that one though. Looks like we've got some weathering on these fatigues as well, which looks really nice. It looks like we've got some brown staining going on there. Overall proportions and detailing look absolutely nailed on here from Damn Toys, and I'm a big fan of Damn Toys. I don't have a vast amount of their stuff in the collection. I think probably the ones that stand out most for me are the Godfather figures, the classic Godfather and the Golden Years Godfather. I think they did some incredible work there. So I've got high hopes for these figures as well. Let's zip on to the next shot. Slight side angle here, waist up shot, and we can see that backpack, and the detailing in that backpack is absolutely excellent. We've got the insignia on the shoulder there, screen accurate. We're getting our first look at the helmet, and we've got that writing down the side of the helmet, once again screen accurate. But yeah, the belt, the webbing on there, I'm going to assume this is all done in cotton and nylon. Looks absolutely on point to me, really, really good. And the looks like there's some weathering on the hands there. It looks like they've dirtied the hands up, dirtied the fingernails and fingers up themselves, which is great to see. Yeah, gives it that realistic, authentic look. And once again, muscularity in those seamless arms looks really, really good, as does the overall outfit. Once again, from the side profile there, unmistakably Chris Taylor, unmistakably Charlie Sheen. Looks like we've got a hint of 5 o'clock shadow there, but once again, it's every angle here. There's just something that seems just a touch off. Now these are, I believe these are prototype shots, so maybe they might do something to that head sculpt prior to its release. But yeah, just it's one of those things where it's almost at the finish line, but not 100%. Let's move on to the next shot. Love this shot here. And now this is where probably it could be an angle that we're looking at here that's throwing it off, because I think this shot here looks far more like Charlie Sheen than the previous shot that we looked at. But yeah, once again, it looks like he's carrying, and I'm going to chance my arm and say it's a grenade launcher in the top section of that backpack there. So if that comes as an accessory, that'll be great as well. He's got that brass copper wristband on. And overall, as I mentioned, yeah, the detailing in this uniform and the proportions and screen accuracy, chef's kiss to Damn Toys. They're done a cracking job here. Another action photo of him holding the rifle to the shoulder there, and once again from this angle, that angle looking up, I think it captures more of Charlie Sheen. He was very young in this film, and I think they've captured that youth very, very well. I think, yeah, as I say, an excellent head sculpt, but maybe just from certain angles, it's losing it just a touch for me. On to the next one. Looking down on the helmet now, as I say, there'll be comparison photos popping up all over here, but it looks like they've got that, they've captured that ode, shall we say, on the side of his helmet really, really well. And the weathering, as before, is carried on into this shirt across the top of the shoulders there, looking really, really nice. On to the next one. Now, we're getting to see the side of that helmet, and I definitely will put a shot up here for you to compare it to. And I think I know it might seem like a minor thing to some people, but for me, catching the lettering, the fall off of that lettering is just as important as catching the accuracy of what it says as well. And of course it says, "When I die, bury me upside down so the world can kiss my ass." Really, really good job they've done there. And this profile most certainly is absolutely on point. That distinctive nose and the spacing of the eyes there, I think it's working better in profile for me, maybe this head sculpt. But yeah, let's move on to the next shot now. I don't think that there is a swap out head sculpt with this particular figure. I think, let me double check that. I'm not seeing any hint at a swap out head sculpt. Now, is that hairpiece swappable? Does that come off so you can put the helmet on if there isn't a second head sculpt? Because he had big hair in the film, and they've captured the hair really, really well here with the individual strands. The colour's just right. It's that dark colour with just some lightish hints going on, and the style is absolutely on point. But with the height of this hair, I've struggled to see that helmet fitting on. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it will fit over the top of that hair. Maybe the hairpiece is swappable. I don't think they've given us an all shot here, so it's difficult to say. But we'll work our way through and see if there is one. That red bandana, the sort of signature red bandana that Chris Taylor wore in the movie. Very, very good indeed. Nicely done. I'm going to assume, yeah, leaning in here, that looks like it's material, which is great to see. I'm glad it's not sculpted plastic. And you've got the sort of feathered section at the bit at the back there hanging down, but the colours are right, the pattern's on point, the width is right, all on point there. Let's talk this head sculpt now. Looks a lot better in this shot. Maybe it's something to do with the helmet, I don't know, but let me know in the comments section below. Is it just an old man with failing eyes who's getting this wrong, and is that absolutely on point? I just think there's just a little hint of something there that's not 100%, but maybe it's just me. But the skin tones and textures, as I mentioned, absolutely on point. Those lips look really accurate, as does that nose. Eyes are nice and glassy, they're the right colour. Everything here is done exceptionally well. On to the next shot. Now we're getting really, really close to that head sculpt. Once again, skin tones and textures look nailed on to me. That sculpted hair, very, very good. The eyes, I think, and this is just my opinion, don't shoot the messenger. The eyes are the right shape with that drop off in the corner of the eye there. The eyebrows are the right shape. I think they might just be a little bit too close together. Is it me? Let me know in the comment section below. But yeah, and we're also getting to see up close the detailing in that uniform, and yeah, just stitch work looks absolutely excellent. 6 scale stitch work, as you know, being a particular bugbear of Mr. Go Figure, he likes to see it done properly, and it looks like Damn Toys have nailed it on there. Their outfits are always absolutely nailed on as far as I can tell. On to the next shot. Now we've got first time we see the base, and we've got him sat down. Now it looks to me like this is pretty much identical to the Barnes base that they dropped on us recently. Circular plastic, I'm assuming, with this sort of soil stroke battlefield type effect with rocks and bits and pieces on it. Can't really see it because he's sat on it, but at least we get a good idea of what the articulation's like, and it looks excellent. Yeah, no problems at all with the knee joints there, the arms, even though they're seamless, they're going to be molded to obviously carry the weapon, the rifle itself. But overall, liking the pose there. You've got the helmet by his side, and yeah, articulation looks really good, as does that base. I like the Damn Toys bases that they're giving us here for this Platoon line, and I'm hoping it's a Platoon line. I'm hoping we see the entire Platoon itself done in 1/6 scale by Damn Toys, because I think Hot Toys, and once again, correct me if I'm wrong, I think they gave us a Behringer, a Sheen. Not sure if they gave us a Defoe. But they most certainly gave us a Behringer and a Sheen, and very good they were too, considering, you know, 15 years old. But will these be replacing them in your collection? Are they better? Let me know, comment section below. Move on to the next one. Yeah, it's him sat on that base again, so we can't really see what the diorama, the mini diorama on that base looks like, but we've got Platoon across the front there. We can see those boots. There's tread underneath those boots, which is great to see. It's got that green khaki effect going on the boot there. Once again, screen accurate, and I think they've absolutely nailed this outfit 100% here, and proportions looking brilliant. On to the next. Stood up now. Now we can see this base. Doesn't look like there's an awful lot going on that diorama, just a bit of dirt, some rocks, which is, I like. I do like it. I don't, as regulars to the channel know, I am not overly, I do love diorama bases, but when they are absolutely enormous and you lose the figure in there, I think, and especially considering space in your average collection as well. Enormous dioramas are wonderful if you've only got a handful of figures. But I do like these. I think they ground the figure, they place the figure, but they don't overpower the figure. And once again, proportions absolutely nailed on, as we mentioned before. And that is the final shot, folks. So that is Damn Toys' take on Charlie Sheen as Chris Taylor from Platoon. What are your thoughts on this figure? Do you have the Hot Toys version? Are you a fan of the movie? What are your thoughts on that head sculpt? I'd be fascinated to hear your take on this particular figure. Is this something you're going to be picking up? Are you an Oliver Stone fan? I personally am. I can see both this and the Behringer figure making their way into the collection, and any others from the movie itself, as unfortunately I slept on the Hot Toys Originals back in the day there, so I can see these arriving. It'll be interesting to see what the head sculpt looks like when we get it in hand. But there you have it, folks. I hope this preview has been useful for you. Please drop a like and hype on it, as I mentioned at the top there. What have we got coming up on the channel? Well, also as I mentioned at the top there, plenty more reviews, previews, showcases and tours. But we've also got, with it being that time of year, we've got the end of year specials coming up. So we will be having a roundup of a year in caustic plastic, which I'm looking forward to, a year in Hot Toys, and of course we will be having the top 10 1/6 scale action figures of 2025, and we'll find out which figure will be crowned figure of the year. So yeah, mash that subscribe button and bell notification icon so you're not missing anything. And I suppose all it remains for me to say, as always, it's a massive thank you for watching, and until from myself and from Charlie Sheen, and until next time on the channel, take care of yourselves and happy collecting.